Hey, what is up guys, welcome back to RBN Hardware for a brand new video where I'm going to talk about the best budget $650 gaming PC for 2022. We got a ton to unpack in today's video. First, we're gonna go over the complete list of PC parts, and later we're gonna look at the gaming benchmarks running over 18 games at both 1080 and 1440p, and by the end of this video you should have a good idea how this PC performs before deciding if this PC is actually worth considering. Now, for the latest and best pricing of each PC component, have a look in the description where you find all items listed. So let's start covering my processor pick. Now, after countless of hours of benchmarking and testing some of the most popular games, I've come to learn that if you want a fast and snappy PC with smooth gameplay without lag, the processor has to be quite powerful. Now, in 2022, 4 cores and 4 threads is simply not enough, especially for games such as Battlefield 2022. And so for today's $650 budget build, I am picking the cheapest and highest performing 4-core and 8-thread processor on the market. Currently, that is the Core i3-10100F. Now, once again, for gaming, 4 cores and 8 threads is the lowest barrier to entry in 2022, and $92 for this processor is simply unbeatable. Now, in this department guys, AMD has actually 2 options, the 3100 and the 3300X. However, with prices sitting way north of $150, they are simply way too expensive. And so if you can only spend $650 for the entire PC build and to make room for a powerful graphics card, the $92 10100 is your go-to. If you can add about $60 to the budget, I highly recommend picking up the 10400F, and for these $60 you can upgrade the build to a 6-core and a 12-thread part, which will make your PC more future-proof. Let's move on and talk about the motherboard. I'm going to pair up the Core i3 or the Core i5 with this, the Gigabyte B560M DS3H. For $89 you're getting 4 DIMM slots and dual channel support for highest possible frame rate. Find plenty of ports and an upgrade path to Intel's 11th gen CPUs as well. And for $90 guys, this is as good as it gets. Now, if you do getting any value out of this video and you want videos more often, please smash the like button, subscribe and turn on the notifications bell so you know exactly when new content is released. RAM is next up. Now, we're aiming for a quick, snappy and lag-free PC that doesn't break the bank. And with this $650 limited budget, I highly recommend choosing a faster RAM kit over, let's say, a slightly slower kit that has RGB. And in 2022, you don't want to go lower than 16GB. That leaves us with this dual channel 3200MHz CL16 kit. This will allow the processor to utilize its full performance, and for $58, this is the cheapest kit you can find right now. Moving on to storage, and here I'm picking the Samsung 980 500GB SSD. Now, this is a super snappy M.2 for just around $50 to $60. And with that said, let's take a look at the component that will have the biggest impact on the gameplay and smoothness. We're talking about the graphics card here. And for about $250 you can actually get a GTX 1060 6GB card from the second market like eBay. I do have a link down below that takes you directly to the listing. 2 things here to have in mind guys, you can either bid on a card, this will require a bit more patience, or you can just buy it right away. Now, keep in mind before making a bid, make sure that the card is in working condition and that the fans are working. eBay actually have a policy where you can refund your purchase if the conditions stated in the auction aren't met. We take a look at the performance. The card is performing excellent in today's modern games, managing to stay close to the magic 60 FPS mark in most of the games tested at 1080p medium settings. Now AMD actually offers the RX 580 in the same price range, and if you compare the two, we see that both performs very similar, 580 being a slight bit faster, and so the RX 580 should also therefore be a considered possible option. If you're interested, I have a video linked up down below with a PC build featuring the RX 580. Anyway, looking at the rest of the games tested, we can see that the 1060 is showing solid numbers in pretty much all games tested. Even 1440p gaming is possible if you keep your settings at low graphics. And so if you can survive playing your favorite game at medium settings at 1080p or possibly medium to low settings at 1440p, you're gonna be quite happy with the performance you can get out of the 1060. Next up we got power supply, and for this kind of build, 500 watts of power will suit our build just fine. This will leave us with headroom over for upgrades later down the road. And with that said, let's move on and talk about the case choice, and I'm picking a chassis with great cooling and a bit of RGB. This is a $80 case from Antec called NX410. We find two 140mm ARGB fans in the front and another 120 ARGB fan in the rear for a nice and cool CPU and GPU operation, with enough cooling and room to run even a beefier GPU later down the road without having to worry about high temperatures. The RGB can be customized to your desire via the button at the front. Now, if you are unable to find this case in your region, I would recommend having a look at the Cooler Monster MB320 as a potential option. Keep in mind guys, for the RGB to work, an ARGB controller is highly recommended. Now here is what the final part list is looking like. All of these parts are linked up down below. Now, if you are looking for a complete step-by-step guide how to put together a PC build like this from start to finish, I got a video linked up down below that is showing just that. Now this video took a lot of time to complete, so if you enjoyed it, please leave a like, make sure to subscribe to never miss any of my future gaming PC builds. If there is anything you think I can improve here guys, please let me know down in the comments, give me some feedback, I highly appreciate that. In the meantime, thank you so much for sticking around. I'll see you guys in the next video.